All right. So, that's it. I'm here. I think I messed up. That's why I'm so late. I thought I was already rolling, but I forgot to click the last button. Oh man. Well, welcome. I'll start over. My bad. Alright, so it's Angus. Hi Angus. How are you? Well, welcome. So, I think I really have to start over. Oh man, I was talking to myself for about 20 minutes now, because I started on time. And I missed that there is a kind of start stream button on the YouTube side as well. I thought it was just in OBS that I had to kind of get everything up and running. I'm a noob. I'm a real noob. Okay, so yeah, I realize that now that yeah, that's what happened. I started the stream on time and already did all my introduction and all of that, and there was a start stream button. A big red start stream button on the YouTube live stream panel that I missed somehow. Well, next time I'll know better, I guess. So, well, let's get going. This is a new sample I collected today. From a little pool in the forest, and it has a range of bigger critters. We're watching it right now with the lower magnification lens, so this is about 2 times magnification. So on my sensor, which is like, how much is a micro four thirds sensor? Something 17 millimeters wide or something? Something that fills the screen is basically the field of view. Maybe I'll talk about the field of view. That's easier to describe. The field of view should be half that. The field of view should be about 8 millimeters. Patty's here. Hey Patty, I just watched your ResJar videos earlier. Didn't know of all of them. Good work. Thank you for the tips. And yeah, I share your fascination with this. With this world full of tiny life forms. We've got a fresh sample today. We've got a kind of a cold spell these last days. Actually saw some snow today. Ah, Gecko Guy is here from the Micro Forum. Welcome, nice you're here. I actually messed up. I wanted to start the stream at 10 and I started the stream at 10, or I started rolling and everything, got everything up and running, but I missed the big red button on the YouTube Live panel, so we're back to square one. Or I already talked a whole lot to myself basically before I realized that there was a button to push to get the last button to click before everything is connected. Because yeah, the live panel already told me I had a good connection, but you still have to start the live stream. Well, so what are we looking at? Freshwater critters. There is a bug right up in that curled up leaf there. Well, thank you, Patty. Just reading your message. We'll see where my channel goes. I mean, the other format of videos I do with narration is kind of very polished style of video, and it takes quite a bit of work to get that going. And I'm working with video editing software for days and days. And yeah, with live streaming I can kind of just get the imagery I can produce now out to the people that want to see it. And yeah, but of course it has some drawbacks here. You'll have to make do with my real voice. I know, right? And the information density will be lower than in the like edited videos where I can really research the critters and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to do a stream where I actually get to talk about the critters, because the first two streams were really just testing around with bit rates and all these kind of things to get the quality right, or as good as I can get it with my internet connection right now. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, kind of like this exploring with people and watching these guys here. Look at this snail. It's got this. It's just fun to watch, isn't it? Let's see the radula sticking out or pushing out, and it eats the biofilm of this skeletonized leaf. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll give you that the editing process will be easier, but still, I mean, the narration is just a lot of work. I mean, this AI voice kind of works all right, but it isn't the hit rate of things how to put this. I mean, I tell it to say something, and maybe in about half of the cases, the first roll will be good enough, in my opinion. And for most of the time I have to like re-roll and try again until I get it right. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost there, Angus. I'm almost making enough money to pay a narrator. Basically, I'm almost there to pay a whole team of people that, you know, a biologist or a writer that just good storyteller and everything, and people that go out and get samples from me from far off places. I'm almost there. No, I think it's a niche, a small niche. I think there's a nematode up there. So I have to kind of recap what I said before I started the stream, you know. I was talking about how, yeah, this format is kind of a test to see how this works out. And this stream is the first one where I really want to talk about the things we see and not just play around with the machine and the quality I can stream. So this snail, for example, I don't know what it is. What kind of snail it is. In my literature, the snails are all just pictured as empty shells, basically. Oh, I think it was pooping. Just pooped. And this shell, yeah, I don't know. There is one promising candidate, actually. But I'm not sure if that one has a lid, because this one has a lid, you know, underneath the shell you can see this plate, and it can use that to close the door, retract into the shell and close the door, basically. So there's this snail in here. There's this egg cluster of, I guess, aquatic snails also, because I wouldn't know what else. But I'm not 100% sure. Could be whatever. Just assuming it's snails because it's kind of a gelatinous mass, and that's what snail eggs look like a lot of the time. And oh, there's a worm, annelid, small annelid. Don't see him anymore, right? See him on the left edge of this egg cluster. There's something moving along, inchworming along. Yeah, for amphibian eggs, I think it's too small. It might be 4 or 5 millimeters across. This, yeah, seeing as the field of view is about 7 or 8 millimeters. Definitely see some movement in there. So yeah, I'll see if they hatch. They seem fairly well developed. See if and when they hatch. What comes out of them. Yeah, there's a copepod, a real, not as big as some other ones that are in here. Yeah, let's move on. Here, in between this curled up leaf, the left half of the screen right now, there's kind of a bluish sheen, and this pom-pom There you can see it maybe. Now it's in the middle. And the bug is pushing it around. The mass that bug is pushing around is not an egg cluster, but a colony of ciliates, paratrick ciliates. But later I want to change lenses and get a higher magnification look on these, as well as some other things, like on the leaf in the foreground right now there's a little fly larvae you can check out later, and there is a Cymocephalus vedulus water flea hanging out on the ground here, or on the leaf. Oh, the snail is on the side of the glass, so you can check out its mouth. No, it's in the shade, but you can see kind of see the cilia. If I keep it right here in the middle, you can see the cilia on the front of the sole beating. I hope that shows in the stream. I've noticed that some of the detail isn't reaching the other end, unfortunately. But I can see it pretty well, so I have to get into OBS and see how I can make like a magnified window, just double the size of the, like zoom in, without changing lenses, just digital zoom. But yeah, when the light is coming from the right angle, you can see the cilia on the sole flimmering. Yeah, what else is here? This bug zooming around, the big one, relatively big one, is a bug. I looked up the name already. It's from the DDD. 1 second. Looking at the book. Hali Plus. I'll type that in real quick. The bug, so Coleoptera. The aquatic bug. It's I'll type spec. I think it's Haliplus fluviatilis. Spec just means species. I'm not sure. I mean, one thing that has to be said is that a lot of these critters, most of these critters, come in a plethora of varieties. So, like, this is not Daphnia or Moina, the ones that you most often see in aquariums or bred for fish food, but this is a different one. And there is, in my book, there are like there's almost a dozen different kinds of water fleas. Some are even predatory. So even if you are able to identify something as a water flea, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the water flea you want. I mean, a predatory water flea won't harm your fish, either your shrimp. Predatory is always relative to the size. There are predatory copepods as well. There's predatory worms, tiny annelid worms that are they eat protists and stuff, and they are predatory, but they are probably not harmful to any of the organisms we care about in aquariums. But yeah, I mean, there's did we see the planarian yet? Oh, there's an ostracod zooming around, probably ostracod. Yeah, we'll see what we can find with the other lens, because if we change the magnification we'll be able to see more detail, but it will be harder to find stuff. Ah, Cornwall's here. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Ah, what is that? Is that a Hydra? On the left there? Now it's in the light. Looks like a messed up Hydra, kind of. It isn't moving, so... I know there's a planarian here also. Don't know where he's hiding. Maybe somewhere down here in the shadows. Not sure. Oh. Sneaking. Oh, out of focus. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I change lenses real quick and we'll try to find some of these critters and get a closer look? Maybe I'll try to look at the bug first, because... oh, really? And there he is. It's just so fast, he's a bit hard to follow around, because if I move the machine too fast I get vibrations, unfortunately. Kind of have to get lucky, and he has to kind of chill for a second somewhere where we can get a look. Anyways, it's an aquatic beetle, and unfortunately info on some of these things is really hard to get. You know, these this beetle, I know it's a Haliplus genus. And there is a Wikipedia article on that, and it's in my book, but it's only a description of appearance and the range where they can be found. Habitat maybe, but I didn't find any info on the diet, what these guys live on, if they are predatory or they just come over here, yeah. If they're, you know, algae feeders or whatever. And he's so fast that I can't really observe him hunting yet. I mean, I'll improve the machine of coming time. Might never be really finished. Yeah, beginning to have doubts if we can get a really good look at him. Yeah, that's a Hydra. See on the left edge of the screen there? In the dark, there's a Hydra hiding. Looks like it has some tentacles, some damaged tentacles. Tiny little Hydra. The bug! Oh no, he's behind the leaf. Yeah, he's too fast. He's actually too fast. Alright, check on the chat real quick. Cornwall, what are you writing? Found a dragonfly nymph in my tank this week, so I killed it! Oh no! And then a few days later I had a damselfly emerge from the water. You see? And did it eat some of your fish, the damselfly? I mean, yeah, I get that you don't want these things in your tanks. I mean, they will eat fish, they will eat small fish. But killing them, I don't know. Some of these damselfly species are really in trouble, you know? Seen that wetland habitats... Well, you're in the UK, so you have enough wetland, I guess. But generally they are not doing so great, the freshwater habitats in Europe and elsewhere. This copepod is a absolute unit. I don't know. I haven't seen them as big as this. This basically is 2-3 millimeters long. Ah, nice. Had been living on tiny critters, you know? I mean, the whole resurrection jar system and all is great, but to be honest, personally, I think 30 days is kind of... It will be hard to identify the things that are in there. You know, there is... a dragonfly larvae can go without food for weeks, and it won't grow and it won't hatch if it doesn't, you know, they go through 4 or 5 molds. And I've seen dragonfly larvae smaller than this, definite, much smaller in fact. I mean, when they emerge from the eggs, they are microscopic basically, so 7mm copepod. Oh my god. Where are you at, gecko guy? Are you in the States? That is massive. Must have been near a nuclear plant or something, right? No, I mean, I know there are some bigger species. Let's watch the snail a bit, eh? It's just so cute. And there is a snail group in my book that's called snout snails. But I'm not sure if it's among those. It does have kind of a snout, I'd say. Well, I just don't know. Snails are kind of hard. Yeah, what I was talking about before is that a lot of critters come in so many varieties, you know, these small annelid worms that are generally referred to as detritus worms. They are not all the same species, you know. There is, like in the sample we looked at in the last stream, for example. I might just put that in later and we can revisit that, but there's like worms that are really detritus feeders, others that are also predatory, and others that will eat biofilm mainly, and others that, you know, there's so many different worms out there, not all of which are beneficial. And you'll be hard-pressed to identify them without at least this kind of magnification. Ah, there's the planarian. Look at that. Creeping about. Kind of reminds me of a stingray with these eye spots on the top, with these 2 light-colored spots. Yeah, there's so much to discover in the micro world. It's you don't have to tell me that. I already nerded out and built this thing to observe the micro world, because, you know, I come from bird watching, and you kind of for bird watching you can sit in a hide for half a day and basically just see a few robins and blue tits or something like that. So I'm talking about common birds, in case the Americans don't know that. But you know, you can waste so much time just looking at a empty canvas basically, and in the micro world generally you get stuff. I mean, I think I said it before I started the stream, haha, but copepods, for example, I've seen them in like agricultural ditches that have an algae bloom in winter and are sun-baked in summer. It's an odd shape. Contracting the flatworm? What is he doing? He's up to no good, I'm sure. Seen a rare bird the other day. What kind of rare bird did you see? My favorites are hen harriers. We get them only in winter, and you have to be kind of lucky to see them here. But man, are they fun to watch. They are like, oh, you see the planarian behind the eggs there? See him moving around? Might he be able to suck the juice out of those eggs? I'm not sure. Could be. It would be cool to observe. Coming out the other way. No, he's not coming out the other side, eh? No. There he is. Oh man, the setup is, at least for snails and flatworms, it's it's very nice to really just follow them around. Shine on 35. A painted bunting. Oh, that's an American bird, is it? Those I'm not so familiar with. Songbirds in America. I basically just know cardinal and American robin and... not robin, the... Oh, what's it called? The blackbird? The American version with the red breast? Not sure. I mean, we do get buntings here, but they are... a lot of times they are kind of brown colored. Reed buntings. But we do get yellow hammers. It's also a kind of bunting, and they are stunning yellow. Similar to a magpie. Sorry, I'm just reading back in the... Oh, Dartmoor, I've been there. It's really nice. Similar to a magpie. Doesn't ring a bell for me. What's this planarian up to? Ooh, with the eye spots. So I think this is Planaria torva. And I think I mentioned it before I started the stream. Some of these flatworms don't have these eye spots on the top, but they have kind of a row of eyes seeming, or the whole edge of their body, their front part of the body is lined with eyes, which is really kind of cool. And its eyes is a kind of a big word for these things. Ocelli, they're also called, I think. Ocelli. Simple eyes or cup eyes. There's different kinds of flatworms, I think. But it's active, this guy, eh? Looking around. No, that was a dead end, apparently. Yeah, he's flat, all right. But you know, usually you can, or you observe these guys. Did you have a flat wife, Cornwall? Horrible looking. I don't think they're horrible looking, but I'm kind of desensibilized. What do you call it? I've got used to looking at worms and worm-shaped things, and I'm gotten past the point where I thought they were gross. If you look close enough, you'll see beauty in all of them somehow. I mean, and also, you know, from an evolutionary science point of view, not that I know a whole lot about that, but I've watched a few videos on the topic. That's how we learn nowadays. So, desensitized? Yeah, maybe. Help us out, native speakers. If you see something so much that you start losing the fear and desensitized. Everything in my jar is from the same sample, yes. I went out today in wind and rain, threw my bike in the car, drove a 20-minute drive, because right here where I live, the only pond we have is like a fishing pond that has only limited diversity. It's pretty murky. And it has like bladder snails and these funny thing, it also has the same Cladoceran, this definite thing. Ah, we see the beetle looks like he's licking the biofilm off the sleeve. Is he? If I could get him in focus, we'd know. Ah, and he's gone again. We saw kind of a worm here. A small annelid worm. One of the small white worms. Desensitized is the right word. So I became desensitized in worm matters. I need my viewers to tell me maybe from time to time. Trick Track is here. Hi. Nice you made it. I'm glad you're here. Where are we at? Everything came from the same source, from a small forest pond in the Rhine River Valley. Just after the Rhine River leaves Switzerland and becomes the border between France and Germany. There's lots of like estuary, no, not estuary. There's side arms, there's a canal, and yeah, all kinds of wetlands. And that's where I went this afternoon to collect the sample. But yeah, the bug is back there. Can we see what he's doing? Can we look at him from the other side? No, we can't. Doesn't seem like it, eh? No, we can't. Leaves are throwing quite a bit of shade. Let me try to adjust the LUT here on the fly. I don't really do a lot of... Yeah, I get tons of lag if I adjust the LUT, the color lookup table, that is, for contrast and color rendition. So yeah, I think did we talk about everything? Does anyone want to know or want me to try and find something again? We've got these eggs. I think we talked about those. I'm not sure because, you know, I talked about a few things before I started the stream because I messed up, and now I'm not sure what I've already talked about with you guys and what I left out. So no fairy shrimps, unfortunately. I was hoping to get like a rare glimpse of fairy shrimp and maybe tadpole shrimp or something, but yeah, I mean, vernal pools here in Europe, they aren't the same as they used to be, I think. There's very little habitat that hasn't been influenced. And you have like big pharma in Switzerland and Basel, don't know how to pronounce that name of the city. Anyways, that's just upstream from where I collected. What is that? No, that's nothing. So, Nipa, you just joined from YouTube recommendations. Forest Pond. I responded to the fairy shrimp already. Sorry. So yeah, we have a planarian somewhere. We talked about that one. We talked about the water flea, the snail. We talked about these eggs. We talked about the bug. I think that's it. Ah, Sam is here. Hello, welcome again. This time I'm trying to do like a more entertaining live stream that's more worth watching after the fact. Last time I did more experimenting, bit rates and preferences and all that. Thank you, Nipa. I'll switch out lenses real quick. Yeah, I'll be operational in 30 seconds to 1 minute. Can hop on the toilet in the meantime if you need to. Be right back. What is this? Hello? Ah, I turned the wrong microphone on. I'm sorry. Ah, I'm terrible. Terrible at this. I have to get the hang of a lot of things still. So I'll turn the speed down so I can navigate a little smoother here. Sorry, I'm a noob. Streamer noob here. And the footage is more jittery. I'm sorry about that. I'm still working on my machine and this. Yeah, some of the moves aren't as smooth as others. I'll try to compensate for that. So we need to find the parrot colony. We have some Vorticella here or something similar. Yeah, Trick, I was asking if someone from the... Here is one again. Anyone know what this is? It's a wiggler guy here. Try to get him in focus. Haven't seen anything like this before. Hard to keep in focus. Really small. Yeah, I mean, no idea. There's all kinds of creatures that I haven't... Is that a Bosmina? Is that a Lancelot? I looked that up. You know, I know there's freshwater clam larvae and all kinds of freaky things. Sorry, just got surprised by my cat scraping away. Ah, here's the parrot colony. Look at that. You should be able to see the cilia beating here, no? So these guys will, a lot of times they will, genus of water flea, they are more disc-shaped like this. Well, this is the thing I showed has a flagellum, I would say. It has a big tail that's beating around. Kind of hard to show. Is there one? There's one stuck in a place. Ah, and it can move like a flatworm almost. It's got a little tail sticking out that doesn't change shape so much. They move like flatworms actually. There's another one on the right now. Well, but it's hard to keep them in focus. Let's see, what else do we have here? Had this fly larva before. Can try and see what's going on. So this is sand. This is aquarium sand. I added some on the bottom to have a bottom. It's not made of glass. Here. Oh, so one of these guys, I think. They might be, I don't know, are they like flatworm? You know, the flatworms, they do some sexual reproduction too? No? A lot of them will reproduce sexually in fall, and the eggs might be hatching right now. could be something like that. A tiny baby flatworm that can wiggle around. But the larvae are planktonic like that? I'm not sure. Let's see what else we can find. This biofilms. Magnificent. I love these little algae balls growing on here. Mucus threads from the snail, maybe? Here, these algae are fun. Yeah, sorry, I mean, for the aquarium folks, I might get excited about some things that you don't appreciate in your tank. That's because I'm not a fish keeper. I'm just a jar keeper. When we move, I'm kind of planning on getting a tank established too and trying to keep a few nanofish. To get kind of more complete ecosystem. Diversity is always nice, I guess. Then again, I mean, if I do keep nanofish, they'll be eaten by dragonfly larvae or something like that. Because those I do want too. So let's see if we can find something else. There's the copepod. Hello. Bam, and he's off. Can you find him again? Not if everything is out of focus. Some Vorticella. Ah, is that the same? Yeah, that's the same paratrick colony. These are quite big. This colony has a diameter of 1 millimeter. But you can definitely see it with the naked eye. The colony, that is. Or you can see that it's made up of little spots. I always get excited when I see like little pom-poms in my sample jars, because usually it's either paratrix or other, yeah, like I mean, Vorticella are also in the paratric category, I think, or these zoothamium, I think they're called. Ones that can contract the branched stalk. I don't know, I saw a stentor before. I was hoping I'll find it again, but I'm having a hard time in general to get some good images here. I feel like this sample has more like a lot of bigger critters, but the smaller ones are kind of rare. What is that? That is something, right? It's moving. Sorry, my machine is doing some sudden movements here. Isn't helping with the copepod staying in place. It started easily. There's a Nautilus. So I think Nautilus are, if they're found in freshwater, at least in Europe, they are most likely to be copepod larvae, because the isopods and amphipods are the other crustaceans we have. And there he is. The copepod. And isopods and amphipods have a marsupial pouch for doing their breeding, and their young are only released when they are like miniature versions of the parents, basically. So any small crustacean larvae like this should be a copepod, as far as I know. I don't think the bigger decapods have larvae that small, like the crayfish. So I think it's only copepods who should only be cyclops and stuff like that. What's that? A rotifer? Small rotifer? Ah, can you focus? Teeny tiny rotifer. Ah, that's true, yeah. I mean, there's those. I just assume I don't get Nipper saying fairy shrimp, clam shrimp, and tadpole shrimps are similar looking. There are other crustaceans, of course, it's just that they are quite rare, as far as I know. I don't get them. I know there are some places in the US where they are more abundant. Here you can see the underside of the copepod and their feet, which are the rudders they use to move around. It's not the antenna, as they might be using their antenna too for locomotion, but this hopping movement they usually do, they do it by beating their regular legs that are pointing up right now. But yeah, there's a big rotifer. Ooh, freaky one. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been at it for an hour now. I think we might revisit the sample we looked at last time and get a better look at some of the worms in there, especially. Because I think we have seen the better part of this sample here. And yeah, the performance is kind of lacking. There's another water flea here. So I'll do another lens change again and put in another sample. Yeah, I'll do that real quick. Should be a minute, maybe. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Pretty quick, I'd say. So, different kinds of worms. For example, very tiny now in the middle of the screen. By movement, I would say this is a nematode, but I'm not 100% sure. No tardigrades, no. I have yet to see tardigrades in pond water, actually. I haven't ever seen tardigrades in pond water. I've seen them in moss samples, of course. That's where they most, what they are known for, kind of. But not in pond water, actually. So yeah, I wanted to talk about these critters here. The lighting is a bit harsh right now, I think. But I'll leave it like this. So there's several kinds of worms in here, and I was touching on that earlier. That you know, worms are a very diverse bunch. This one here is called Stellaria lacustris. I'll type that in again. Did that with the last stream. Hope you can forgive me that I'll do it again for the ones that haven't watched the last stream. Lacustris. I mean, I know they do exist in pond water, but I have never observed one. I should be able to see them with the magnification I get. Haven't used my compound microscope a whole lot this last this last time, the last period here. So the big worms that are wiggling about here, they're called Stellaria, and they eat diatoms and algae and these kinds of things. They have this trunk. I think it's just for sensory purposes, because their mouth is underneath the eye spots, kind of in the front of the larger section. And well, it's not very well lit right now, but it's sticking up now. It's another kind of worm. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I want to check, I want to try and look at tardigrades with this setup for sure. But yeah, I mean, I might just wait until I get a pond tardigrade. Yeah, but I'm trading off again. There's two different kinds of worms in here. The bigger ones with the yellow insides, and the really transparent ones that are quite hard to see right now. I try to get a little backlighting going real quick so we can better see those. Now that's better, and as luck would have it, there's one in the middle of the screen. Excuse me. Okay, so now of course it went down again. Not seeing it right now. And there's one on the front window of the glass. So I guess with the naked eye, these worms would be little whitish strings the thickness of a hair, maybe a little bigger than that. But they would be quite hard to distinguish from one another, because you wouldn't see the the ketae, the hairs or bristles, which are sticking out on both sides for the Stellaria lacustris, and the other worms, the smaller ones, are called, I think, called Ketogaster. What's the second name again? Up real quick. Diaphanus. And right now in the middle of the screen there's a teeny tiny nematode wiggling about also. Yeah, so these worms would both be neither of them would be damaging to an aquarium, I guess. But yeah, I mean, when I see people identifying them as detritus worms, I think a lot of these people think there's basically a species of worm called detritus worm. Sorry, I'm having some voice issues. Might have to call it a night soon. Getting late anyways. So basically, just wanted to revisit this jar because it is a nice sample. There's a lot of wiggly worms in them. And these are tree roots. And tree roots are much finer than twigs, so they make for a much nicer scenery in this kind of setup. High magnification setup. But yeah, basically I think I talked about most things I wanted to brush tonight. The soil is worm poop. I mean, all soil on planet Earth is worm poop, I would say. There were these algae, these round algae structures in there, in this sample when I prepared it, but it has been going for 2 weeks almost, I think. And the worms have since consumed all that green stuff. So you're welcome. I'm glad you found it. I hope you liked it, and I think I'm gonna do it again, probably. Maybe not on a weekly basis, but when I get some interesting stuff to look at. As I said, we'll move soon, so I hope in the new house I can set up a nicer, like a lab with a sturdier table, with a second table for the machine already. That will be nice. Doesn't wobble every time I touch the table. And yeah, there's this thing again. Still kind of overexposed right now. Is that water mold? What do you guys think? Don't see any movement. No Syria, no, I don't know. Well, hair algae? Well, it's white. I would assume hair algae has some chlorophyll. I don't know if there is like a... Yeah, I was thinking some kind of fungus, or yeah, or myces aren't fungi in a strict sense, but whatever. It ain't a plant, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, well, on that note, I will say goodbye. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Great to have you. And yeah, that's it for tonight. Oh. Where's the close stream button now? Where you need it, when you need it. Bye folks, see you next time.